He is the co-founder of Tether.
That the first generation stablecoins have is who gets the yield. It's these centralized entities that are capturing all the yield, and it's extremely lucrative and extremely profitable. The promise of Web3 is that the people who contribute to the ecosystem, the people that use the product, should reap the rewards and the benefits. We have the infrastructure now for the community to reap all of the rewards. The solution is to strip the yield, give it to the minter, and then spend the principal. Because the principal is also Genius Act compliant. It's not a security. The yield NFT is the security. That's what stablecoin 2.0 is. Because a lot of challenges with Web3 projects is that there's a lot of whales. It's either the founders or the investors, and then they have to sell into that community and it impacts the price. Well, we've created a really elegant solution to that where
The most important guy in crypto is sitting next to me. He is the co-founder of Tether, ladies and gentlemen. Reeve Collins, he's also the co-founder and chairman of STBL and WeFi. A lot to talk about. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You know what is crazy to me is in crypto, we have been using stable coins for a long time. And then institutions are just catching up and then we're like, yeah, we've been doing this for a long time. But you are looking at us and be like, well, when I started, it wasn't even a category,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me. What was the story like? How do you even come up with the concept that I'm going to put the dollar on chain?
There are three elements.
And finally, now that the regulatory winds are at our back and the road is being paved, but we created USDT, and the exchanges used it at first because they're the ones that really needed to move money, so they moved the money amongst them. Then the traders used it because they wanted a stable pair to trade Bitcoin against, and then eventually it started, more and more people started using it because it was a better way to move money. So that's the quick history of the origin of it. And now today, that concept, right, the ability to move money globally instantly and for free, has become the foundation of the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. And finally, now that the regulatory winds are at our back and the road is being paved, the institutions are finally getting involved. They're like, all right, yes, this is much more efficient. This is much better technology to move our money with. So let's figure out how to play in this world.
So welcome. This is Blockchain Kojo here with another education piece. Quick disclaimer, folks. Everything we're going to talk about here today is mainly for education purposes. Nothing here is financial advice. Definitely do your own research. Let's get into it. So now Blockchain Wealth Academy has been a part of this project for a while, right? Over the last couple of months, I believe over 18,000 people have joined this on-chain financial infrastructure just through my network and my other affiliates because we saw the value in this, okay? So let's go ahead and look at this. The on-chain financial infrastructure here is amazing with WeFi. Here we have this on-chain financial infrastructure. Now, WeFi delivers blockchain financial infrastructure for fintech companies and institutions, all built on their blockchain and compliant. When we talk about compliance, they have literally all the documentation you will want. You can go look under your Gitbook. These people have been building, an ecosystem that is rivaling almost any traditional finance in the market, right? They are insured with Fireblocks, partnership with Visa, right? Compliant on multiple levels, right? So far, over 200,000 members are mining the token of the WeChain, right? The WeFi token, which is very instrumental to the entire deal banking financial infrastructure that they have created, right? Over 150 million plus in volume. So just imagine what you're able to do with all this liquidity. Over 500,000 operational nodes. That is what we mean by decentralization, right? This entire platform is built on about three different models. We'll talk about it. The We chain being the financial blockchain where settlements can be processed faster, native compliance, fiat integration, so much more. This is an entire technology built for the world of finance. Okay. Then we have the Bank model, which is an on-chain infrastructure for compliant banking with built-in custody and payment rails. This is where you integrate the decentralized crypto aspects, where you're able to take an on-chain transaction or you're able to take a fiat transaction that comes in, and through the licensed banking partners, they take that fiat instantly. There's a model that converts that 1:1, and you mint tokens instantly in your Bank on-chain account, and you're now able to transact with that stable coin faster than you would transact with traditional fiat. So that is the transition where you're able to move fiat. It goes through banking partners, but on the retail side, everything comes through stablecoins. So it makes all remittance instant globally. And you should watch out for this service. It's coming soon. And I'll definitely urge you to take a look at this ecosystem and be a part of it. You can always reach out through our community channels just to be a part of it. That you need to be a community member in order to access the nodes and all these different things that are currently with this service. As you watch in the video, this project was created by not just your everyday developers, but by a team that rivals any team, right? We're going to look at this team. Right, folks, this project was built by none other, and we saw the video that came first, than Reeve Collins, right? The co-founder, creator of Tether USDT. You also have Maxime Shakrov, who's, ex-CEO at Xflow, one of the big brains behind steering this entire vision. Roman Rozov. Now, for those of you that know TransferWise, now today called Wise, one of the biggest digital online banks in the world. This is the guy behind their product directorship, right? He was the ex-product director. He had a huge vision. He worked with the company for years, and he's brought all of that experience down here into WeFi. We have Yusuf, ex-CEO at TradeLeaf, and none other, the gentleman right here, last but not the least. And there are a couple more people on the team. They recently onboarded one of the top executives that came out of Visa to do a partnership with WeFi. So WeFi has that partnership with Visa, right? So here we have Khaled Suleiman. He's the ex-CEO at the National Bank of Abu Dhabi. This guy has spent over 30 years in the traditional banking space, being at the top of major banks in Switzerland and now Abu Dhabi. And he took all that experience, he left all of that on the table and said, I want to be a co-founder board member of WeFi. So that should tell you a lot. Okay, they have members coming in from Bitpanda, Binance, and more that are a part of this team, right? So that is the infrastructure they've created. And the next is the WeFi token. This token is currently traded on about 3 exchanges, right? Until their mainnet goes live, you can currently have it on the BNB Smart Chain. Also is on BingX and Bitmart, okay? They have a lot of media publications. Go ahead and look it out, folks. This is really an innovation. In fact, when you go on CoinMarketCap, WeFi has been labeled as the world's first, right, bank, right? So now they have their on-chain banking that's literally yet about to roll out, right? This is money beyond borders. You're able to interact with crypto and fiat all in one app. You have an IBAN account, you're able to receive and send international wires and get remitted instantly in crypto. Keep your eyes on this, folks. So who is WeFi built for, right? Now, WeFi, number one, is built for the global population of unbanked members, right? People who are currently unbanked that would want a service like this. You have people in countries where they don't even have access to these privileged accounts and all these different things, and this would do very well with them. And then we have the regular everyday folks who already have traditional bank accounts, but have a hard time accessing crypto and moving fiat across global borders instantly. That is the most important thing, right? So here, this is being also created for fintechs. So companies that are looking to have access to this technology, fintech companies can be a part of this with WeFi. Payment providers, right, that are looking for on-chain settlements and cross-border transfers, and you're looking to attach APIs and all these different things, WeFi is built for them. Wealth managers who want to offer tokenized assets and on-chain yields with transparent portfolio tracking, they can use this technology, okay? The banks, right, can expand their services by having access to WeFi's blockchain on-chain infrastructure and while maintaining full regulatory compliance because WeFi itself is compliant, right? They have licenses in multiple countries from their um, FinTrack license, they have this other license from Dubai, virtual assets. They have so many other licenses. They have technology license, crypto exchange license, and the I think it's PFP license, which allows them to offer all retailable banking products, right? So that is a good thing to know. Currently, I think they're working on MICA and some other more licenses for compliance. Now, with remittance, you're able to reduce settlement time from days to seconds. So here, this is a technology people like Western Union, Remitly, Sendwave, all these local remittance companies, MoneyGram can all come and adopt what WeFi has already built. Also, startups that are looking to launch but want banking grade infrastructure where they can have payments come in and move payments and be secure and be instant, and not be blocked out by traditional banks for lack of much more paperwork, right? This is where you're able to get involved with this as well. Now, the most important thing here is currently, right now, you really want to get hold of the WeFi token, right? Think about it. This is 100% community-owned token. There were no founders that were given any tokens. Remember, Reeve Collins is an OG in the crypto space. He basically did the entire distribution inspired by Bitcoin, fair distribution, sustainable production via cloud-based mining. You're able to purchase your nodes. They call it ITOs, and you mine tokens. It's an 8-year mining campaign, but I believe already a year and a half is done. So you currently have about 6 to 7 years of mining available. Definitely grab your notes. You will earn loyalty rewards, ecosystem utilities, and a lot more coming in. You can also go read on the tokenomics, okay? We'll go into all of this in a much deeper dive. They also have their card, their crypto card, which is very, very important. You are able to use your crypto card also at the ATM, right? And a lot more has been built within this ecosystem. They also have an AI distribution algorithm, right? So all the tokens that are distributed through the nodes are done through AI, making sure and ensuring that the actual entire process is decentralized, okay? Also, they have energy, which is like loyalty points you're able to claim. You're able to use it to reduce spending fees on your card and so much more, folks. Well, I'd like to bring this to an end and watch out for the next video, but definitely join our community, Blockchain Wealth Academy. We are actually rebranding and coming up with something amazing for our entire community and entire academy back office and website, tools and services, videos, trainings. It's all going to be coming soon. We're working on in the background, but for now, definitely join the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, share the videos, and I will see you on the next call or the next video. I want you to watch this last one coming in from Reeve Collins, where he speaks about WeFi and the vision behind it. Because remember, this is the guy who was ahead of the entire world and created stable coins when no one understood why it was important. Now the entire banking infrastructure, the banking world is running towards stablecoins. He's already 10 steps ahead. He created the world's first DO bank. So understand why he did that and the mechanisms involved. Number one, he's focused on community, being an OG in crypto. He understands Web3 means community first. Let's go ahead and watch the video.
Companies like Walmart or big retail companies, they are exploring their own stablecoin. But I am guessing, this is my assumption, that they want to trap the value within their own ecosystem. For example, if you get paid in their own stable, then maybe I can use that stable to pay for ad services, for example. Is this assumption correct? Are we heading to a world where every large company has their own stablecoin, but then the liquid aspect of stablecoin is gone if everyone has their own little ecosystem?
It's an excellent observation, and I couldn't agree with you more that all large companies are going that way.
Right.
I believe for sure that these companies are going to start issuing their own stablecoins because, yes, right now, let's use Walmart as an example. Tens of billions of dollars flow through the Walmart ecosystem, right? They pay people globally around the world, suppliers, vendors, customers, everything. All this money flows around, but it's cash. Walmart not only doesn't earn any money on that cash, they pay a lot of fees to move that cash, especially if they need to exchange it into different currencies around the world. If they could just create Walmart coin backed by dollars and every vendor in the world accepted it, think of the efficiencies they would have. Not only the efficiencies, in addition, the fact that now that Walmart coin is, whether there's tens of billions of dollars of Walmart and people are using the token, now they're getting yield, interest on that tens of billions of dollars of Walmart coin.
Right.
Your next question was, okay, now if that ecosystem has its own currency and this one has its own currency and this one has its own currency, there will be clearinghouses to make those interchangeable and swappable and fungible, right? And what's going to make those transactions easy, because this all sounds complicated, right? Blockchain and crypto and stable coins and the 25 different L1s out there. It is complicated. Do you want USDT on Ethereum or on TON? People don't need to know that stuff in the future because AI is going to run the transactions for them. And so if there's hundreds of different stable coins and you've got Walmart coin and I've got Amazon coin, like, we're not going to care. All I care about is I get $1 worth of value and you get $1 worth of value, and the AI is going to do all of that interchange and all the complex stuff in the background. Like, it's not going to matter what's under the hood.
So what I'm seeing is the same thing, but just underneath the surface, it's different companies.
Because all you're going to care about is moving some value to someone, doing a transaction.
Right.
You're not going to care which blockchain or which token or which anything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everyone cares about it now for two reasons. This past decade, people have made so much money on the infrastructure. Do you think anyone really cares how an L1 blockchain works? No, it's super complicated. It's the most complicated areas of finance and cryptography that there is. No one cares, except for they want to invest in it because they see people making lots of money. So now they want to understand it. No one understands how an email works. And no one cares because no one's making money. If you're making a tons of money on HTTP and TCP and all that stuff, you might want to understand how it works, but no one's making money, so they don't care. This is the exact same thing, but everyone cares because there's tokens and they're making money. But now it's been a decade that infrastructure is being laid. We're finally getting to the application layer where more and more people are going to care about the transactions and not necessarily which chain it goes on. And so I think a lot of the focus will be on real world use cases on top of blockchains. And at the moment, it's the movement of money. But soon there'll be more and more and more use cases being built on top of it. For instance, WeFi is the evolution of banking. So in the beginning, there's banking, and there's neobanking, which is banking without a storefront. It's just online banking. And now there's on-chain banking. And there's a lot of companies offering on-chain banking services. So what makes it unique? Well, WeFi is unique in the sense that it's delivering on the promise of Web3 because it's driven by a token. And this token rewards all of the community members. So when they transact and utilize the financial services that WeFi provides, all those fees get recycled back into that token, and that community is rewarded. And we've created a really unique structure where all of the tokens are owned by the community. Because a lot of challenges with Web3 projects is that there's a lot of whales. It's either the founders or the investors, and then they have to sell into that community and it impacts the price. Well, we've created a really elegant solution to that where that token is only generated and given to the community. And then there's equity value. So the equity value gets paid for delivering world-class financial services. The community gets paid for using the world-class financial services. And so that's what enables our financial services to be differentiated from someone else's, because ours is much more community-oriented, and when they're utilizing it, the token value goes up, and they're all the beneficiary owners of that token. And so this is truly a company that creates these financial services for its community.
Can I know the difference between this and other Web3 banks that are competing crazily out there right now? They have their own token and they offer on-chain financial services as well. There has to be something that is special.
One, a lot of these neobanks, or even some of these other on-chain banks, if they don't have their token, then the community doesn't really get much of a reward. If they do have a token, we are the only ones where the community is the only one that has the token. 100% of that token value stays within the community, and all of the fees and everything reward those token holders because they're contributing, they're using the financial services. There's equity holders, so we have two ecosystems, and the reason why it's so important for the equity holders is the equity holders get their value by creating world-class financial services. When we create great financial services and more people use it, then the equity's worth more. When more people use it, the token's worth more. So we've actually created a very synergistic flywheel that rewards the people that should be rewarded, which are the founders and the investors, as well as the community. Because in the past and until now, the community is never rewarded. The community is typically rewarded with the utilization of a product. Think about Facebook or any traditional product like a company. The users of it get entertainment value, get some utility, get something out of it, but they don't get financially rewarded. That's what we've finally solved, and we've solved it in a very elegant manner where both the equity is worth something and the tokens are worth something without any whales trying to sell into the community.
I think you just brought up something really interesting. So when I explain these tokens to beginners, a lot of times I use this analogy of a startup or like a new company or a tech company, and owning the token means you're owning a piece of it. But you brought up the equity side and the token side. Now, can I dumb it down for me? If the equity goes up, does that equal to the token should go up as well?
It depends on why the equity goes up.
Right.
So the equity in a company like this would go up the larger the community is. The larger the community is, the more the token goes up. So that's a synergistic flywheel. Traditionally in a lot of companies, if the token goes up and the founders and investors own 50% of the tokens and it goes up, they're going to start selling and selling and selling, and they have massive amounts of float to sell. In this instance, it's all the community holders, and there's no one that was given, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of the token. I'm not saying these other models don't work at all, but in this instance, it's just a really